Good morning, students. After the completion of the chapter quadratic equations, we are going to start a new chapter today. No doubt the chapter is very simple, and moreover that the basic of that chapter you have studied in the class 9th. You might have understood what chapter I am talking about. The chapter is the coordinate geometry. A lot of basic ideas we have seen, you have learned in the class 9th. What is a Cartesian plane? What are x-axis and y-axis? What is a origin? What are the quadrants? What is a coordinate? What is abscissa? What is ordinate? How to locate a point on a Cartesian plane? All these things you might have understood in the class 9th, and those are having any doubts about this, you can just go to my videos, class 9th video where I have taught coordinate geometry. But whatever we learned is a very basic idea in the class 9, but we are studying more and more about the coordinate geometry in the class 10. I am not going to take all those things once again, but which is important, which will helpful for me to solve the problems that will I will take up. You have learned a coordinate. What do you mean by a coordinate? The x value and y value, or x coordinate and y coordinate, or abscissa and ordinate. Together we call it as a coordinate. In a Cartesian plane, let me draw one. This is a vertical line which is called as the y-axis, and this is a horizontal line. This is a horizontal line. We call it as x-axis. Okay. So vertical line is called as y-axis. I will call it as x dash x. X dash is called as x-axis, and y dash is called y-axis. Both mutually perpendicular straight lines are intersecting at point O, which is called as origin. Okay, and if I mark, I will call it as 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, +1, +2, +3, +4, -1, -2, -3. Okay, if I mark a point here, I call this as, say, a point P whose coordinates are 3 and 2. Listen very carefully. The coordinates of point P are 3 and 2. See, 3 is the value of abscissa. Abscissa means x coordinate. And 2 is the value of ordinate. Ordinate means it is a y-axis. Okay, I will write here. It is abscissa. Abscissa is nothing but x coordinate, and it is very important. The x coordinate is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. This point has to be noted. So this abscissa means it is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. It is a perpendicular distance from y-axis. If I write here 3, 2, 3 is the abscissa, but this is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. This is 3. See, this is 3. This is the perpendicular distance, means x coordinate is the perpendicular distance from y-axis, and ordinate is the perpendicular distance from x-axis. This point is very important, which will helpful for us to solve the problems. See, once again I will tell you, what are coordinates? The x coordinate and y coordinate. Or in other words, I can say first value is always abscissa, second value is always ordinate, and together we call it as a coordinate. Abscissa, ordinate, together we call it as coordinate. But what is abscissa? Abscissa means x value, x coordinate, and x coordinate means it is a perpendicular distance from y-axis. It is the perpendicular distance from is 3, this is 3. See, this distance is 3 units. That means the x coordinate is the perpendicular distance from y axis. And what is this? It's the ordinate. What is ordinate? Ordinate, no doubt it's a y value, but it is a perpendicular distance from x axis. See, this is 1 and this is 2. 1, 2. This is the perpendicular, y coordinate is the perpendicular distance from x axis, and x coordinate is the perpendicular distance from y axis. Very, very important. Abscissa, nothing but x coordinate. It is a perpendicular distance from y axis, and ordinate is nothing but it's a y coordinate. It is the y coordinate, and it is the perpendicular distance from x axis. This is very, very important. For these two things you have to keep in mind. Okay, now what we are going to study in this chapter, let me tell you. We are going to study about 3 important things. Let me write the heading. It is the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. This is the coordinate geometry. Okay. The things what you have to learn in this chapter is we have to study about 3 different things. The first one is the distance formula. The second one is the section formula. And the third thing what you have to learn is area of triangle. These are the 3 very, very important concepts what we have to study in this chapter, coordinate geometry. Okay, let me start today the first part of this, that is the distance formula. Okay, students, now you see here, if I draw a line, say, okay, I will call this line segment as PQ. And if I ask you, what is the length of this line segment PQ? It's very simple. You can say, see, I am talking the length. When it is length, I am asking the negative and positive will not count. The total length I am asking. So, this is 1 unit, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. That means the length of PQ is equals to 5 units. 5, you see here. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The length of PQ is equals to 5 units. Likewise, if a line segment is drawn like this, say for example, say line segment is drawn like this. Okay, I will call this line segment as MN. What is the length of MN? I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can say length of MN is equals to 7 units. That means if it is a horizontal line or it is a vertical line, it is very easy for us to tell what is the length of the given line segment. But if the line segment is like this, see, the line segment is like this, somewhere like this, the line segment is drawn, and I call it as line segment AB. What is the length of this? If you draw it on a graph paper also, it is difficult for us to answer because this is neither the horizontal line nor the vertical vertical, it's called the slope. How to find the length of this? In such cases, the distance formula will help us to find the length of any given line segment, whether it is a horizontal, whether it is a vertical, whether it is a slope, whatever the line segment it is easy for us to find using distance formula. So today I will show you the derivation of the distance formula. If I give you the distance formula directly, you may not understand. So I will give you the entire derivation, how to derive the formula for the distance formula. Okay, let us start. Okay, but some of the things is very important here. Okay, I will remove all these things not required. Okay, yes. Come. I will call this line segment as it is a line segment AB. Line segment AB. But listen very carefully. Let the coordinates of point A be x1, y1, x1, y1. I am not taking like 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I will take it in terms of alphabets only. It is x1, y. And let the coordinates of B, point B, be x2, y2, x2, y2. Okay, x2, y2. You have to listen very carefully. Okay, this is my x-axis. This is the x-axis down. What I will do now? I don't want all these 1 unit, 2 unit are not required for me. Okay, yes. I will draw the perpendicular to x-axis. I will draw a perpendicular from A to x-axis. Likewise, I will draw a perpendicular from B to x-axis. Come on, yes. Now some of the questions for you. You know that abscissa is perpendicular distance from y-axis. Listen properly. Abscissa is perpendicular distance from y-axis and ordinate is perpendicular distance from x-axis. This much I have told you just now. Okay. Now you see, this is x1, y1. Which distance is x1? See, x1 is the x coordinate, which is a perpendicular distance from y-axis. Perpendicular distance from y-axis. So I can say, I will call this as P, I will call this as Q. The length of OP is x1. Length of OP is x1. Why? I have told you just now, x1 is an x coordinate value, that is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. So this value means it is a perpendicular distance from y-axis. It is x1. What about y1? y1 is an ordinate value. Y coordinate, it is a perpendicular distance from x-axis. This is the perpendicular distance from x-axis. This distance is y1. This is x1. This is y1. So the coordinates are x1, y1. Okay. This is x2, y2. x2, y2. Which distance is x2? x2 is a abscissa value. That means the perpendicular distance from y-axis. See, this is x2 means from the y-axis, the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So this is from here to here. This is x2. Here to here, it is x2. See, x2 is the x coordinate of point B, and this is the perpendicular distance. That is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. From y-axis. Okay. And what is y2? y2 is the ordinate value. That is the perpendicular distance from x-axis. From the perpendicular distance. This is the perpendicular distance from x-axis. From the x-axis. y2 is the perpendicular distance from x-axis. This distance is y2. This is y1. This is y2, this is x1, this is x2. This has to be understood first. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the length of PQ? What is the length of PQ? See, this is x1, this is x2. What about the length of PQ? Can I say PQ is x2 minus x2 minus x1. I will write the length of PQ as x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1. Okay. What I will do now? I will draw a perpendicular from A to BQ. I will draw a perpendicular. Okay. So that I will get a right angle triangle. Okay. This is a perpendicular. Okay. I will call it as PQ. Let me take it as R. And I will write it apart. This distance is y2. This distance is y2. Come on. Now you tell me, when this is x2 minus x1, what about the length of AR? They are parallel. So that is also x2 minus x1. This is also x2 minus x1. Okay. Now see here, the total length is y2. What about the length of RQ? See, when this is y1, this is also equals to y1. So I will write here, this is y1. Total length is y2. This length is y1. What about this length? Total is y2. This distance is y1. So can I say this length is y2 minus y1? This is y2 minus y1. This much I will write it first. Okay. So that you will understand better. Distance formula. Okay. Let AB be a line segment whose coordinates are x1, y1. Let AB be a line segment whose coordinates are x1, y1. Okay. Then draw AP perpendicular to draw AP and BQ perpendicular to x-axis. Therefore, OP is equals to x1. OP is equals to x1. AP is equals to y1. See properly. OQ is equals to x2. And BQ is equals to y2. Okay. Here I have drawn AP perpendicular to BQ. AP and BQ perpendicular to x-axis. And AR perpendicular to BQ. Okay. Therefore, OP, AP, OQ, BQ, all we got. I can write. Therefore, PQ is equals to what? PQ is equals to, listen properly, PQ is equals to OQ minus OP. OQ how much? X2 minus X1. I can say which is equals to AR. That means I got the value of AR. AR is equals to X2 minus X1. I can write further. AP is equals to RQ, which is equals to Y1. Therefore, BR is equals to what? BR means BQ minus RQ. It is BQ minus RQ, nothing but it is y2 minus y1. What is equals to? BR is equals to. I need AR, I need BR. I need AR, I need BR because I can use this triangle, right angle triangle. I can use this right angle triangle and I can find the length of AB. So ultimately, the length of AB can be found by using the Pythagoras theorem. For that, what are the things I have taken? I have found the value of AR, I found the value of BR, and now I am going to find the length of AB. Okay? So for that, what I will do now? I will rub all these things, but only I need length of AR, length of BR. Only these two things required for me. Come on. What I can write now? I can write in triangle ARB. In triangle ARB, this is a right angle triangle. ARB is a right angle triangle, and you can apply the Pythagoras theorem. AB square is equals to AR square plus RB square. 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 This is because of Pythagoras theorem. Okay? Which is equals to AR square. What is AR? x2 minus x1 the whole square. x2 minus x1 the whole square plus what about RB? What about RB? y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 the whole square. What is equals to? AB square is equals to. Therefore, AB is equals to AB whose length has to be found. AB is equals to under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. This is called as the distance formula. See, looks to be complicated, but very simple. Very simple. Since you are learning it for the first time, you might have felt it is difficult, but I tell you, you will enjoy these problems. Very simple. Don't worry. Remember this formula. This derivation may be asked in the examination, may not be asked. That is different. But we need this formula to solve every problem of the distance formula. Using distance formula. To find the distance, this formula is very much essential. So I can say to find the distance between the two coordinates. Distance formula will help you to find its length. Okay? So the ultimate formula is AB is equals to under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. This is called as the distance formula. Practice it once. Okay? I will summarize it once again. What I have taken? I have taken the length of AB. AB I have taken whose length has to be found. AB is the line segment whose length has to be found. That is coordinates be x1, y1 and x2, y2. I have taken two perpendiculars. I have taken one more perpendicular here so that one triangle is formed. And this distance is x1, this distance is y1. Because the coordinates are x1, y1. This distance is x2, this distance is y2 because it is x2, y2. So, this is x1, total is x2. So, this distance is x2 minus x1. And this is x2 minus x1. This is also x2 minus x1 because parallel. And this is y1. This is also y1 because they are parallel. The total distance is y2. This distance is y1. So, this distance is y2 minus y1. Taking these two, you can find the length of AB using Pythagoras theorem. Right, students? We will solve some problems based on this. Find the distance between the pair of points. These are the two coordinates. I can say this is a line segment AB whose coordinates are 5, minus 5 and 4, and here it is 3 and minus 2. Okay. Till you get practice, I will write here this as x1 y1, this as x2 y2. Okay. Remember the formula. x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Okay. See. This is x1 y1. This is x2 y2. Or this is x1 y1. This is x2 y2. That makes no difference at all. But first one should be x. Second one should be y. You can't write it y1 x1. No. In a coordinate system, first value is always x. Second value is always y. But x1 y1 can be taken here. x2 y2 can not. That will not make any changes or the difference in the answer. Come on. x2 minus x1. I will start it equals to under root. Okay. x2 3. This minus from the formula. Minus from the formula. x1 is again minus 5. See, this minus I have taken from the formula. x1 value itself is minus 5. That is minus of minus 5. The whole square. See, x2 minus x1. x1 value is minus 5. The whole square plus y2. y2 is minus 2. This minus from the formula y1. y1 is 4. The whole square. Which is equals to under root. See, you know that minus of minus becomes plus. Minus of minus is plus. It is 3. Minus of minus is plus 5. The whole square plus. When both are minus. When both are minus. Keep the minus as it is. Add the numbers. See, we are learning this from the beginning. Minus, when two minus are there, keep the minus as it is. Add the numbers. But it is minus into minus becomes plus. 2 minus will never become plus. When 2 minus are there, keep the minus as it is. Add the numbers. It is minus 6 the whole square. Under root. 3 plus 5, 8. 8 square, 64. Plus minus 6 square. Minus 6 square, 36. 36. Square root of 100. Answer is equals to 10 units. Answer is 10 units. That means distance between these 2 points, the answer is 10 units. My dear children, those who are interested, always those who want to verify their answers, I can give them a simple work. What? Mark these two coordinates on a graph. See, minus 5, 4. Minus 5, 4 comes in the second quadrant. 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 comes in the fourth quadrant. Mark those 2 points. Join them with the scale and measure it. Your answer must be 10 centimeters. You can check it. Minus 5, 4 in the second quadrant, see, like this. This is somewhere minus 5, 4. And this 3 minus 2, somewhere here. Join them. Your length must be exactly 10 centimeters. Try this. Let me go for one more problem. With that we will wind up. Yes, come on. Find the distance between the pair of points. I will change it. Let me take 8, 2. I will take here minus 4 and say minus 3. Minus 4, minus 3. Okay. Find the distance between the pair of points. Come on. Let me take a line segment. I will call it as AB. Here it is 8 and 2. Here it is minus 4 and 3. If you want, you can write here x1, y1, otherwise not required. This is x2, y2. This is also. If you want, you can write. Otherwise, you can only keep in mind x1, y1, x2, y2. x2, y2, x1, y1. First value is x, second value is y. First value is x, second value is y. Okay. We'll go for the formula. We will go for the formula. Come on. AB is equals to under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Come on. Shall we start now? Which is equals to under root x2 minus 4 minus from the formula x1 is 8 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 3 minus y1 is 2 the whole square minus 4 minus which is equals to under root minus 4 minus 8 both are minus and minus 12 the whole square plus minus 3 minus 2 minus 5 the whole square which is equals to under root 12 square 144 minus 5 square 25 answer is 169 nothing but 13 units answer is 13 units again those who want to verify for that see h2 in the first quadrant somewhere here h2 first quadrant second minus 4 minus 3 in the third quadrant and measure it exactly your answer must be 13 centimeter. Now you may ask me, sir, that means every time are we getting a natural number or a whole number? My dear, no. Sometimes you may get irrational number also. Irrational number. I will take one problem of that and we will close. Find the distance between the pair of points. I will take minus 5, 3, minus 4, minus 5. Come on. I will take a line segment. Let me call it as AB or I can call it as PQ. Whatever it will, I will call it as PQ. Come on, coordinates. Minus 5, 3, minus 4, minus 5. Now we will not write x1, y1, x2, y2. You can keep in mind. Okay. Directly apply the formula. PQ length has to be found. Don't think that always it is AB is equals to. Which line segment we have taken? PQ is taken. Here I have written PQ. AB is taken. Right here AB. MN is taken. Right here MN. But formula remains the same. Under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Come on, I have written the formula which is equals to under root x2. See, x1 y1, x2 or x1 y1, x2 y1. One and the same. Absolutely no changes. You can write in any way. x1 y1, x2 y1. x1 y1, x2 y1. No difference. x2 minus 4 minus from the formula x1 is again minus 4 again minus of minus the whole square plus y2 it is y means second value, x means first value. Keep in mind. Okay, minus 5 minus from the formula y1 is 3 the whole square which is equals to under root minus 4 minus of minus is plus 5 the whole square plus it is both minus are there. Keep the minus as it is. Add the number minus 8 the whole square. Come on. Which is equals to under root minus 4 plus 5. 1 plus and 1 minus. Bigger number minus smaller number. 5 minus 4. Answer is 1. It is 1 square plus minus x square is 64. It is 64 plus 1. Answer is under root 65 units. Under root 65 units. No need to find the decimal value. Keep the answer as it is. Because it will be 2 marks question in the examination. You are getting the full marks. But now you may ask me a question. Sir, in my earlier case, sir, you got the answer as 13 and you told under the verification, you told that measuring you are getting 13 centimeters. Now how I can verify my answer? Yes, I will tell you. under root 65. Under root 65 what? Okay. But how much should be the value? You can find the value of root 65 by the log division method. It is 8 8s are 64. 8 8s are 64. 1.100. 8 is added. 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay. It is 0. Around 8 centimeter or 8.1 centimeter. 8 centimeter or 8.1 centimeter. That's what we have found. 8.0. That means if you go for a graph paper, -5 3 somewhere in the second quadrant, -4 -5 -4 somewhere in the third quadrant. -4 -5 is in the third quadrant. You can draw a line and verify your answer must be 8 centimeter, right? Or example make it 8.1 centimeter. Okay, somewhere it is -5 3. Somewhere here -5 3 like this, and this is -4 -5. Somewhere here -4 -5. Join this and measure it. Your answer must be 8 units or 8 centimeter. My dear student, we stop our discussion. We have learnt the basic idea how to find the distance between the two points. There are lot of problems in the distance formula. In my next class, I will teach you different types of problems under this distance formula. Till then, goodbye students, take care.